take pictures and post them to social media. Just be sure that your flash is off and your shutter noise is off and all that. One quick program change. We have a change in trumpeters. We have Dwight Adams with us today, which is fantastic. Also holding this blue card. If you're not already on our mailing list, please feel free to add your mailing address and, more importantly, your email address. We send out emails before almost every concert. We only send out a mailing about once a year. So please feel free to drop that into the donation box out by the ramp. Also, please feel free to drop a donation if you wouldn't mind purchasing your 2-drink minimum here. I'm sorry we don't have 2 drinks for you, especially in this heat, but if you wouldn't mind making a donation, we'd be very grateful. I should note, though, that this series is sponsored by the Ruffner family, and in fact, Trent just informed me that was 11 years ago to the day that we had that memorial concert for Jim Ruffner, who created this whole series, and both Jim and Trent. Gift to this community here at our church, but more importantly to the jazz community of Detroit, and as curators and essentially and sponsors of this art form. But we'll let you know, we haven't set the series for next year, but we do have agreement with Scott Winnell, who's going to do a Ella Fitzgerald and Frank Sinatra program with the big band in the fall. So look forward to what we have coming, and there's some other great things coming down the line. So please come and join us again next year. It is now my pleasure to introduce, though, with the support of Dwight Adams, Djallo, Djakate, and Marion, Hayden, Taslimah Bay.
Thank you so much for inviting me to play and for supporting jazz. Of course, we all remember Jim Morton today. I just want to tell you a little bit about the artists that are playing. I'm Taslimah Bay, and I would not have been able to do this without this support system that you see there. I'll start with Djallo, who was born in Detroit, and he's been playing with me since my son, who's 34 now, was just like maybe 1 or 2 years old. All of our children have grown up together. Djallo is now leader and founder of this electronic music exploration called Inner Ear. And he stopped doing that to come and play some ragtime with us. So appreciate it. A really big name, Dwight Adams, on trumpet. For the past 20 years, he's been a member of Stevie Wonder's touring band. He also teaches at Wayne State University, and if you're lucky, you can catch him playing around Detroit when he's in town. Thank you, Dwight. And last but certainly not least, my sister, in spirit and in music, Marion Hayden. I can probably sit here and talk about her all afternoon. Just the way that she supports jazz, she supports young people, she supports people. And she teaches all over. Every time I see her, she's teaching at a different college. I know she's at Oakland now, right? At University of Michigan. And she holds several workshops and residencies. She's really interested in getting young people involved in music. And without her, a lot of young people wouldn't do it. We are so lucky to have Marion in our town.
Right.
Thank you. I'm Taslimah Bay, and I started playing ragtime music in response to a history teacher who told me that black people didn't write music or read words. But right here in Detroit at the Azalea Hagley collection down at the main library, I found all of this music written by black people. And then I went to Marcus Belgrade, who introduced me to Charlie Gabriel, and that was it. We've been down to New Orleans, and I've just found that ragtime music is such a historical and such a great part of America that I really like sharing it with as many people as I can. So I appreciate you all coming here today in this heat to help me to express myself, ragtime again.
All right.
So I'm gonna just, we're gonna do all Jelly Roll this concert, and I just wanted to talk about him because he was such an important figure in jazz and ragtime. He was born in New Orleans. He was, I want to try to follow his life with our music, but born in New Orleans, at about 14 or 15, they passed a law in New Orleans that if you had an eighth of black blood, you couldn't own property. Jelly Roll was from a middle-class family, and so they lost all their money, right? And he stayed with his grandmother. It was a multi-generational household, but his grandmother ran that house. And she got him a job making barrels for about like $5 a week. So he found his way down to Storyville, which was a section of New Orleans where they let all the red light district, you know, all the sin happened in Storyville that was legal. And they had to have music for that. And he found his way down there one night. His friends pushed him into a house to sit in for a missing piano player. And he made over $100, so you know what he did. That was the end of making barrels. He was making money every night playing music. He would take $14 home, which is what he supposedly made at his job. And he tried to keep this from his grandmother. When she found out they were an upright Catholic family, she put him out the house. And so at 16, he was on his own. And he learned how to hustle, he learned how to survive. He had a complicated life. And I keep thinking, you know, most of when I research a musician, I want him to be a hero, you know? I want him to be a really good person all the way through. Right. Jelly Roll Morton was not. Jelly Roll Morton was a human being, as we all are. So after he left, he got on the road, and he started playing his music. This is a song that he wrote in 1905. He had been messing with it, you know, how the songs, he had been like doodling and finally wrote it down. And it's a combination of the blues and what Jelly Roll called a Spanish tinge, a habanero beat. And it's simply called New Orleans Blues. So that's our first song written in 1905. We hope you enjoy it. Thank you. success. Djallo traveled all over the South, all over the Gulf, and he was like the best piano player in every town he went in. So now this is a kid, right? He's like 17, 18 years old now. He's making all the money in the world, right? Is he saving it? No. Is he thinking about a family? No. What he did, he got a diamond put in his mouth. He always kept like about $100 cash in his pocket, and he had a new suit. Sometimes he had a suit 2 or 3 times a day, because this is what he admired. This is what he thought success was about. And so he traveled all over the Gulf. He went to Chicago. He came to Detroit. He went to Los Angeles with his paramour, Anita Gonzalez. While he was in Los Angeles, he wrote Frog and More Rag. Not in Los Angeles, I'm sorry, while he was on the circuit. He also played for vaudeville. This is what happened while he was so concerned. There was a little scam that publishers did. So a musician would write a piece of music, right, like Frog and More Rag. The publisher would write a lyric, a poem to go with the music. They would take half the royalties. In the case of Djallo, Morton, or other people of color, they would take like 75–80% of the royalties, simply because they wrote a lyric to go with the song. And he heard about this in California. Somebody said that we heard your tune, Frog and More Rag, somebody, a sweetheart of mine. He's like, oh, that's okay, because he's got money. He's got suits every day, he's playing every time. He's not even paying attention to that. So I want to tell you, this is a great song. This song is about a frog, people who contorted themselves into frogs for the vaudeville set. So, you know, I looked through the internet, and did I find a picture? Yes. This is a picture of a man named Harley Mannequin. And I know you can't see it. I wish I could give it to you. I wish I had got it duplicated for you. But they would put on a frog costume while the music was going, and then contort their bodies into the way that a frog goes, like into the crouch and the whole thing. So listen for that in this Frog and More Rag. You're going to hear a chromatic line going up and up and up. In my mind, although I wasn't there, that's when the guy starts transforming. So we hope you enjoy this one, Frog and More Rag.